Hi guys, it's Diane here from UK Disney Vlog. Last week we announced that we're going to Disneyland Paris and I am so excited, I can't wait. I really hope you all watched last week's surprise reveal video. If you haven't, click on the link and go and take a look at it because it was so much fun making and the kids are so excited. Now this week we have been in full planning mode. We have been trying to decide what we want to do while we're in France because obviously we've only got 2 days, so we need to try and cram as much in as we possibly can. Now when we go to Orlando and I book my trips to Walt Disney World in Florida, I know exactly what I want to do. I know what attractions I need to see. I keep up to date with all the latest news and rumours, so I know about latest rides and new experiences. I know about new snacks that are available, so I kind of know what restaurants I want to go to. If I've not been there before, I've got a rough idea of where I want to go, because I do know a lot of information about Orlando. Whereas Paris, I had no clue. A couple of friends and family have been. I've listened to a few podcasts. I've started going on Instagram and following a few people and seeing what's available in the parks. But to actually start planning my holiday, I had to sit down and think of where do I start. So how I started was I downloaded the app. So Walt Disney World in Orlando, I've got a fantastic app that helps you plan the vacation for there. And Disneyland Paris are the same. They've got a brilliant app that shows you all the rides, the attractions, restaurants, etc. So that's what I did. I downloaded the app through the App Store because I've got an iPhone. I assume Android is the same. I assume they've got a similar sort of app store that you can download the app through. So I just want to take a look at the app in a bit more detail with you. So like I said, we went to the App Store to download the Disneyland Paris app. So all you did was search for Disneyland Paris, bring it up and it comes out with this logo, and then you just download the app. So I will now open the app and talk you through it. Now the app I found is really useful. It's like the old Walt Disney World layout. It hasn't been updated like the new Walt Disney World site, but I still find it really useful and I'm so used to the old one I can navigate my way around it really well. So the screen first pops up, it says Disneyland Paris and tap to explore. So we just tap on it and it first comes up with the Disneyland Paris map. So if you zoom out, you can see Disneyland Paris, the map of Disneyland Paris. It shows you the Walt Disney Studio and the Disney Park. If you zoom in, it shows you Disney New York Hotel, Disneyland Paris Hotel, and it shows you lots of different other hotels in the area. If you zoom in further, you can see Disneyland Park, Main Street, and the first thing it shows you is all the attractions and their wait times, which is really useful, especially when you're in the parks, because you don't want to be traipsing over to a ride that's got a queue time of about an hour or 45 minutes when you're stood close to something that's got a really short queue time, and you can make better use of your time by going on other things. So it's a really fantastic app for that, and it's quite to time as well. We've often found that it doesn't exaggerate or under exaggerate times. It's quite accurate. So if we just click on something, for example, so we've got Pirates of the Caribbean, and at the moment it's a 60-minute wait time, and if you click on Pirates of the Caribbean or click on any of the attractions, it will show you what it is, so the wait time, how to find it on the map, and if there's any height restrictions. So on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, anyone can go on it, there's no height restrictions, and it also tells you when the ride opens and if it's accessible for other people. You can also find attractions by searching for them. So if we just click on the search function in the top right hand corner and say we wanted to search for the Tower of Terror, one of my favourite rides, you could just click search tower, or you can try and search for the whole thing and see if it comes up. Now I'll show you different things, including those words and phrases. So if we click on the list, at the top of the list it comes up with the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. So if we click on that, It's got it there. Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror. It's in Walt Disney World Studios Park. It tells you it's in the production courtyard. It's currently a 25-minute wait, and it's got a height restriction on it of 1 metre, 2 centimetres. Okay, it tells you the time that it's open for and the kind of attraction who it's suitable for. So tweens, teenagers and adults. It's not suitable for younger children and toddlers. And it's got a little description about it here. You can also find it on the map. So if you click the find on map function, which didn't work. If you click on the find the maps function, it shows you exactly where it is. And obviously it is in Walt Disney Studios Park. So if we close that down, bring it down and then come back to the main page again by clicking on the map, we can then see all the other attractions again. Now the tab along the top tells us lots of other things. It tells us our attractions, what entertainment options there are, where all the PhotoPass people are located. So if you head over to those PhotoPass points, you get a fantastic picture by the PhotoPass photographers. It shows us where all the dining locations are. So if you are stood on Main Street, it tells us what dining options are around near you on Main Street. So if you zoom in and you can get to click on them. So we've got Casey's Corner here, which is American style diner. And it's a bit of a slight description of it. It's a counter service. It's an American diner style menu. However, it doesn't have, on this dining feature function, it doesn't have the menus which the Walt Disney World Resort app has, which I find an amazing useful function when you're out and about in the parks. It tells us what shops there are, where your closest restrooms are, guest services. It also tells you things about events, tours, all your hotels, spas and sports recreation. It is an amazing app, so it helps you to navigate all the way around all the parks. It also helps you to navigate around the hotels as well. It tells you what's available at the hotels in terms of restrooms, shops, dining, which is also another function if you want to eat outside the parks as well. Because I know the hotels in Florida have amazing restaurants, and I assume the hotels in Disneyland Paris will also have amazing restaurants as well, with absolutely phenomenal theming. So they're always worth checking out as well. On here, if you click on the mouse at the bottom, so go back to where you almost started from, it tells you the show times for today. It shows you your park times. There's also a function to book tickets and reserve a table. Now I think reserving the table here is for a phone call only. You can't make dining reservations on the app like you can with the Walt Disney World app. So let's have a look at park times. If you click on the park time function, you can search for park times throughout August, September, and if you keep scrolling you can then check it out through different months. It only however goes up a couple of months in advance. So if we take August for example, so we click on park times for tomorrow, and we've got these options available. So Thursday the 9th of August, it tells us exactly what time Disney Park opens and Walt Disney Studios Park opens. It tells us if there's any extra magic hours. It also shows us which attractions or restaurants are closed. Unfortunately, Phantom Manor is going to be closed while we're there, and the Walt Disney World Railroad, which I'm a little bit sad about. I really wanted to go and see Phantom Manor. So that's the app. I think it's really, really, really useful, and it's an amazing function, an amazing feature, and it's a must-do for all those people going. You must download the app. I think you'd be completely lost without it.
So isn't the app amazing? Obviously it looks at all the attractions and the height restrictions. It tells you about all the restaurants. It tells you where the local restrooms are. It's just fantastic. The one thing the app doesn't do for me that the Orlando app does is when you look at the restaurants, there's normally a link to click on to tell you about the menus. Now this function for me and our family, as I've mentioned to you guys before, and if any of you've read the blog, you know how fussy my family are at food. And be able to access those menus really quickly and easily is a really, really amazing plus point for us. But unfortunately, the Disneyland Paris app doesn't do that.
That function within the app allows us to save time. It stops us traipsing across the other side of the park to find the menu outside the restaurant or quick service location and realise that nobody's going to eat there. Then we have to go back to a different side of the park and look at a different menu. The app allows us just to stop where we are, have a scan through of what's available and go, no, we won't eat there, or yes, we'll eat there. Now, for a family of fussy eaters, this is a major, major plus point because it saves us time, it saves us tears. I've been to Orlando before, and the very first trip we had, and it was horrible for us because we were traipsing around the park for like an hour trying to find somewhere to eat. And when you've got little ones and grouchy adults, it just gets really tiring. So I do like to know and plan what quick service locations my family will eat at because they won't eat everywhere. I will, but they won't. So this is a really important part of the planning process for us. So before we go to Orlando, I'll literally scour all the menus, and it's a lot of menus, to decide where I think will be suitable. Obviously, I don't plan specifically, but I have a rough idea that they will eat at this location, like Pinocchio House, or obviously they won't eat Columbia Harbour House. They will eat at Cosmic Rays Cafe in Magic Kingdom. I know that they'll eat at these few locations. So that is really important to us. But unfortunately, the Disneyland Paris app doesn't have that for us. And hopefully they will in the future. I'm sure hopefully it's still in the planning process. But their website does. So I've had a quick look on their website and it's simple to use. So I just want to go through it with you now. As you can see, the website is fantastic as well. Having those menus available to us gives me a rough idea of where they will eat and where they won't eat. And it just saves us that trauma. Obviously, the food in France might be slightly different for our fussy palates. I would love to go to Chez Remy, Bistro Chez Remy, I think it's called, but I don't think they'll eat there. So I think that's one experience I'm not going to get to achieve unless I want to eat alone. But like I said, that website is great. It shows you all the menus, and I've got a list compiled of where they will and won't eat. So I think those are the two biggest planning tips I can give you as a mum and as a family, especially a family of fussy picky eaters. So firstly, download the app. The app is great. It tells you exactly what's available, what the attractions are. Whilst you're in the park, it tells you about the wait times. It also tells you about the height restrictions. If you don't want to go to a ride and not know anything about it, if you've got younger children that are excited about going on Space Mountain but then are too small to go on it, you're going to have so many tears. So look at the height restrictions on that and you won't get that, you'll avoid those tears. Also, like I said, go on the website, browse the menus. There is still going to be so much choice. If you're only limited to 2 days, you're going to want to have a rough idea of where you want to go. And also if you need to make any reservations, these parks get busy in the summer. I assume France is exactly the same. So being able to make those reservations, you don't want to make a reservation for somewhere that you don't know what the menu is and what food they're going to serve. Just because you've heard of the reputation, you don't want to be doing that. It's much, much more important to be able to have the best enjoyable experience possible to you guys. I hope this really helps. I can't wait to keep on planning. Come back to watch some more videos about our trips and our adventures in France. Thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe and come back next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.